Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And today I just want to share a couple of gifts that I have received. And I'm going to show some mantle cards just because I want to show mantle cards. So we'll go from that. But first of all, I want to show this book that I know a few of the YouTubers have received. And this came from Carl from Australia, or like he likes to be called, Carl from Oz. And Carl was a good friend of Scott Miller, the person who wrote this book. And Scott Miller was and I say was because unfortunately he recently passed away. Carl told me he was a good friend of his, but Scott Miller was a writer, of course, but also he was a voter for the Hall of Fame. And he, I think, attended I don't know how many World Series and All-Star games, but a lot of them. And he was one of the people that would vote people into the Hall of Fame. And this was his latest book, Skipper. And it talks about managing and why baseball managers matter and always will. And here's a picture of Scott. And God bless him. And he's a great guy. He's an award-winning veteran national MLB writer who has been contributor to the New York Times, the national baseball columnist at the Bleacher Report, and CBS Sports. He's covered baseball extensively for the LA Times, St. Paul Pioneer Press. Before that, he'd been honored several times as one of the top baseball writers in the nation by Associated Press sports editors, and his work has been cited in Best American Sports Writing in 2019. He's co-authored 90% Mental with former MLB pitcher Bob Tewksbury in 2018, and a former analyst for the MLB Network Radio and Sirius XM. And he was living in California. But thank you, my friend Carl, for sending me this book. And I'll be reading it and enjoying it. And thank you for, letting us know who Scott Miller was, and sending this book to many, many of the YouTubers out there. The other thing I received is I got from one of my nieces. I went to a garage sale and she found this, and she sent it to me. And let's see if we can get a good look at it here. And this is the Hall of Fame baseball cards. So it has 92 collector cards, authentically reproduced in full color, perforated for easy detaching. Burt Randolph Sugar. Now I don't know if Burt Sugar is the Burt Sugar who was a boxing manager. Maybe him, I'm not sure. But anyway, this is what it is. And it's pretty cool. It was published in 1978 by Dover Publications. And basically it has just a ton of cards, which, I've seen these. A lot of times you'll see them kind of cut out and sold individually as reprints. But pretty cool. They've got the Tattoo Orbit cards up here. T205s, got the Mathewson here, Rube Marquard, McGraw, a lot of other Hall of Famers in there. Got some T206s on here with the Huey Jennings and Sam Crawford and Wee Willie Keeler, Collins, and a few other guys. And pretty cool little book on the back. You can see that you could cut them out. And they have different backs. This has the Tolstoy back. They are reprints, and it says it on here, a Dover reprint. But this is what they actually look like, the backs of the cards, other than saying that they're, a Dover reprint. So it's pretty cool. I can imagine back in 1978, you didn't see many of these. And here's the back of this page, which has Famous and Bar, the 1916 M101s. You've got Stenkel in there and a few other guys there. You got Kelly, you got Nat Badgeway, you got the Cy Young here, T206s. You got some nice Cracker Jack cards on there, Roger Bresnahan. So it's kind of neat, and you see the backs again. Shows the Cracker Jack cards here. And these are the Famous and Bar, which also come in blank backs. And again, the T206, they show different backs. You've got the 350 subjects here. You got the Sovereign. You got the Piedmont with 350, 460, the 150, and so on. So kind of neat, you know. Back in the day, you didn't see these cards very often, these pre-war cards. So this book must have been a great book. I never had it. I've seen some of the cards, you know, torn out of this because it has, you can see there, you can just kind of cut them right out. It's got a perforation on there. And I've seen them sold individually, you know, of course, as reprints. But there's a Honus Wagner there, the Cracker Jack, Walter Johnson, the Ty Cobb. Pretty cool cards there. You know, they look pretty nice. For anybody that really, again, didn't have these cards, it'd be great to have these. And they're the reprints. You can see the backs of them. And you can see that it says reprint on the back. So they're pretty thick, because these generally were thin cards, but these are pretty thick in this book, so you can definitely tell that way. Again, you're gonna have some more stuff here. You got the Gaudies here with the Babe Ruth, True Speaker, a few of the other guys in there. You know, pretty neat. Kai Kyler in there. You can see the Babe Ruth in there. You know, just like the original, except it's got the Dover reprint on there. So it's pretty neat. If you didn't have a Babe Ruth, you can go ahead and just take it right out of there. So pretty cool little book. And then you got the 1934 Gaudies on here with the famous Lou Gehrig, one of my favorite Lou Gehrig cards right there. Jimmy Fox, a few more of the 33 Gaudies, and again the 34 Gaudies, Charlie Gehringer, Dizzy Dean, and you can see the backs again. You know, this page kind of came off there, but you can see the backs how they are. There's the Lou Gehrig card in the back. Nice little book. I'm glad that she found it in a garage sale, thought of me and sent it to me. You got the Diamond Stars on here. Got the beautiful Al Lopez card there, one of my favorites from the Diamond Stars set there. Frankie Fritsch, Luke Appling, Lefty Grove, Hall of Famers. It's a Hall of Fame book. That's what it says it is here. Got them a lot, so it's pretty neat. And over here, again, you got some of the play ball cards here, and more Diamond Stars. So you got more Diamond Stars here. You know, back in the day, another 33 Gaudi, back in these days, you know, this book was done in the 70s. You just didn't see these cards, especially at card shows and things like that. You know, you'd have to go to the National to see them. There's the Joe DiMaggio, play ball. So to have a book like this, you know, for kids and everything, even for adults, would have been really, really interesting. Kind of wish I would have had it back then, but I'm glad I got it now. You see the backs there. There's the play ball. There it is, Joe DiMaggio. See the back of these things. And then you've got some of the 50s and 60s baseball there. You got the Ted Williams, you got the Clemente, 65, you got the Jackie, Sandy Koufax, Stan Musial, Warren Spahn. Pretty neat little book. Pretty nice to have these, you know, little reprints, especially back in the day if you never had the cards. It's great to have the reprints. There's the Mantle back there. So, because there's a Mantle there, I figured I'm going to show some Mantles, but it kind of tells you a little bit about the cards here, what's in there, the players, and then the back. It tells you, I got some more of the cards there. It says, contains full color detachable facsimile reproductions, and some of the players that are there. It was $2.50 back in the day. So pretty cool little book. I thought I'd go ahead and just kind of share that with you guys. Just thought it was an interesting book that I'd never seen the whole book. I've seen the cards, you know, cut out and sold, but never seen the book. So the reason I pulled out some mantles here, and I'm going to go ahead and just share some of these. These are the, let's go ahead and get the book out of the way here. This is my mantle, I guess the run of the different mantles from 1966. I pulled these out because I'm going to be doing a thing on the four collectors with Caesar, Pepino Man, and we're going to be talking mantle. So I figured I'd pull out some of the mantles. We're going to go ahead and record that today, but it'll be shown sometime next week, so you guys will have a chance to take a look at some of my mantles and some of Caesar's mantles. And again, this is the regular mantle, the tops version. You can see that's really nice, white sample. That's what that one looks like. This is the O-Pee-Chee, very, very similar to the tops. You see, it's the O-Pee-Chee mantle. The difference is that the backs, see how the back, it says printed in Canada, versus this one says printed in the USA, and it has a different color back, a little bit darker back. And then this one is the Venezuelan mantle, which again, printed in very cheap stock. Usually they're stuck on albums. This one's got a little bit of paper loss, but the back, it says on here, it says printed in USA, but they're really not printed in USA. And it's a lot darker than the other three, the back. This is the regular one. You can see the difference in the colors here. The Venezuelan is a lot darker in the back, but essentially it's pretty much the same copy in the back, the same information in the back. So this is, I guess, the rainbow, we call it, the rainbow of the 66 mantle. And then there's also the 67 mantles. And this is the 67 tops. And that's kind of what it looks like there. You can see the back of that. And there's also, I have the O-Pee-Chee version of that one. And that's the O-Pee-Chee version. It's virtually the same. Difference is that it says printed in Canada. You can see down there, printed in Canada versus printed in the USA. And there's also a Venezuelan version of this, which I do not have. Something eventually I'll pick it up. But there's also a 67 Venezuelan version, and that one has a totally different back. It's got like the Retirados, it's got kind of like a green back there, but maybe I'll pick that one up one day. It's rather expensive. But I wanted to share some of my mantles and some of the gifts that I had received recently from my friend Carl and from my niece that sent me the nice little book that she found at a garage sale, and was thinking of me. So I appreciate that very much. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this short little video. And watch me. I'm going to be on with Caesar, Pepino Man. Probably come out next week. I'm also doing a segment with Greg, Midlife. I'll record that tomorrow. Probably be on Monday. I'm also going to do on Monday another recording with Mike, baseball collector, for the golden age of cardboard. And we're going to record that on Monday, probably put on the following week. So I got a lot of stuff going on. And also we got the Hobbypalooza, which I'm honored to be the 2025 ambassador of that. And I want to just thank the Four Collectors team for giving me that honor. And I'll talk more about Hobbypalooza when the time comes. I'll be on actually 3 sessions on that. On Saturday with Caesar again, Pepino Man, talking about sets. on Sunday with Ryan, Breakout Cards, talking about 19th century cards, non-sports and sports. And I'll be on the final wrap-up show with the Four Collectors team, just as the ambassador for the final show on Sunday night. So thanks for watching, guys. Orlando from my Collector's Dream. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you on the next one.